Another Marvel Monday, and this week we're talking Captain America. Just a quick art journal background thing. I did the layout of these pages off camera, as you will see, without the writing. I saved that for last, and then I today will be working on the collage page, which you'll see here on the right. And so let's just get into it because I feel like I have a lot more to say than I thought I would. Where do I start? Okay, so I had never seen this movie. I did not know anything about it except that Chris Evans was in it. That's all I knew. I didn't know about, and I knew that there was a Peggy person, because I've heard her name before, but I didn't know Tommy Lee Jones was in it. I didn't know Hugo Weaving, Stanley Tucci. I didn't know they were there. I didn't know that I didn't even realize that it took place all in the 40s. I don't know why. We'll get to that, I guess, at the end, but yeah, so I didn't know anything about this movie going into it, and that was kind of fun. I will say I think that I was expecting a lot from this movie, and I didn't personally get a lot from it. I think a lot of people had told me that they love it a lot and that it's their favorite, and I didn't really feel that strongly about it. At least it's definitely not one of my favorites of phase one that I've seen so far. But I do think that there's a lot there, and I think there's a lot to talk about. And I will also say, I think that, because I've seen the first Avengers at least, and I think that I thought I knew who Captain America, who Steve Rogers was, and I totally didn't. I just absolutely didn't. This movie totally introduced me to that character in such a powerful way that it impacted me. I'm so excited to watch everything moving forward, seeing all of this. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's the same thing with Iron Man. I thought I knew who Tony Stark was, and I just totally didn't. So that has been super fun to realize all of that. You know what I mean? So I want to just get this out of the way. The CGI of Steve, of Captain America superhero-ness, I don't know, operation, I don't know what to call it, before he changed into Captain America, that CGI just really threw me. I was trying so hard to get lost in it. I was trying so hard not to think about it. I do think it's super impressive. And I also think that there's literally, I don't think they could have done anything else because it's so important for it to be Chris Evans' face. And I do think that that was really helpful. But it just, I don't know, it was the features were just too big for the head, and maybe it's just because I really know what Chris Evans looks like, but I just could not get lost in it. So that was frustrating, and I think it took away from the movie for me a good amount, which I feel bad about. But overall, I think there's so much to say. Okay, so I also think the Red Skull villain, I was okay, I didn't really connect with that. And the ending battle, you know how I've talked about this before, that sometimes when the big battles happen, I kind of check out. And I definitely had that experience with this movie a little bit. I love how this turned out, by the way. But anyway, so anyway, the good things. Let's talk about the good things. I think Tommy Lee Jones just basically playing himself at this point, but I've loved him since Men in Black, of course. He grew up with that guy. So he did a great job. I think Peggy Carter is really cool, and I really am intrigued to watch the Agent Carter show. Now, I do know that show exists, although I don't really know anything else about it. So that's kind of cool, and I really liked her, so I definitely am considering watching that show to see more of her. I also loved seeing Howard Stark. That was so fun. I have all this headcanon now because it's the thing that I couldn't stop thinking about watching it was it's so weird that Captain America has met Tony's dad, and I don't know if that's a bigger thing in the comics, but that was just so fun to think about, that then when in Avengers, when he does finally meet Tony and they have those arguments and stuff. Well, we'll get into that next week, but it was just so cool to think that he hung out with Howard Stark and everything. So I was super into that. I loved Stanley Tucci. I love Stanley Tucci in all things that he does. And I thought he was great. I love that character. And yeah, just like the character of Steve Rogers is like so, he's like the golden boy, but there's like more to him than that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I definitely connected with him, and that was helpful, for sure. I also know, this is gonna like, I don't know how to say this otherwise, but like, I know that Bucky is someone. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen Winter Soldier, I haven't seen Civil War, but I know that Bucky comes back because I I like am aware enough with the universe and just from being on the internet that I know he exists again. So, but I don't know how. So that's kind of exciting because like I know that Bucky is going to exist again in a future movie or whatever, but I don't know which one and I don't know when. And so yeah, so that's kind of fun. What else? Basically, I just want to talk about the ending because my God. So like no matter what happened before, the ending of this movie like blew me away. I did not know that it happened like that. I did not know what to expect. I've watched it like 4 times since then, just on YouTube, just watching the ending. It's so good. I think it's so well done. The way that when Cap wakes up, they put him in that room because they want to kind of ease him into the idea that he's been asleep for 70 years. And then how he is so sharp that he knows right away because of the baseball game on the radio that it's not true. And the way that he goes from panic to understanding and to, okay, so what do I have to do now? So what's the next step? Like he goes straight from being like confused and scared to being like soldier guy. And that was so, I don't know, I think it was acted so well. I love that Nick Fury calls him Cap like right away. That was really great. And yeah, that just really struck me, that part. Just it was so emotional. And yeah, and just the grief that comes along with that, with like everyone that you know, that you've ever known is gone, and now you're just here and you have to I was so into that. Like, wow. So that really like balanced out the whole movie for me. Okay, so we're looking at the final spread now. I did do a little writing. I wrote basically everything that I just talked about. I also really liked how the American history was mixed in with the comic fiction of it. That was really cool too. Just pointing that out. So yeah, so that's it. Captain America. It surprised me in good and bad ways. You know what I mean? And I'm just really excited to get into Avengers now and to watch it with the new frame of mind of having seen this. You know what I mean? It's just good. I hope you liked this. Thanks. I'll see you next week. Bye.